Okay, I'm going to freely admit that one of the greatest gifts I've been given this year has been the gift of Indian cinema. A lot of the films coming out of India are vastly superior to anything coming out of Hollywood, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but mostly it's because they're not pushing any kind of a message. And I always do this, but I will definitely continue to thank Chris Gore for this gift, bringing a lot of films to light that I otherwise would have missed, like RRR and Buabali. And of course, Pushpa. There are many other films that are on my viewing calendar, at least for review here on my channel, but I'm very deeply concerned, and I'm about to show you why. Here we go. So, from our friends over at Bounding Into Comics, we have some very terrifying news for anybody who's appreciating the films coming out of India. And it's this story here that I really want to draw your attention to. We have to make this message clear to our folks in India who are producing incredible content, films, television shows, etc., and to stay the path and avoid the Western wokeness. So from the headline of Bounding Into Comics, Amazon-backed media report pressures Indian film and television companies to push diversity and inclusion, which I actually call that destruction. They want to push destruction or foist it upon the same industry that, they've done so here. They want to destroy the film industry in India. If they don't see it that way, I'm sorry, they probably should. So from the article from Jacob over at Bounding, it says, the same woke virus that has affected the American film industry with diversity and inclusion propaganda has now a new target, India. Media watchdogs have spent the last 5 or 10 years analyzing just how diverse and inclusive modern television shows and movies have become. As a result, many of the major entertainment giants such as Disney, NBC Universal, and Netflix have mandated this kind of garbage shoved into there instead of having it be done organically. Quotas and officers They have mandated quotas and officers in order to ensure progressive hiring standards in front and behind the camera. Amazon Prime Video is working with Indian media consulting firm Ormax Media and Film Companion and has released a new report that targets the lack of diversity in Indian cinema, especially women on screen. The report took into consideration a total of 100 films and 50 series that were released in 2021 across 8 Indian languages: Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, Punjabi, Bengali, and Gujarati. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best, folks. Per the report, out of the 56 theatrical Indian films analyzed across the languages, not one was directed or edited by a woman. So, the report continues to complain that only 10% of senior leadership roles in major media and entertainment houses were held by women. So, there are cultural differences between us and India. And they're definitely not taking those into account. But the report goes into deeper detail about the lack of inclusivity within the Indian ranks of cinema and entertainment using progressive metrics that don't exist in India, such as the Bechdel test, which is garbage, which tracks whether 2 female characters have a conversation about something other than a man. First of all, the Bechdel test was created in a humorous way. It was never supposed to be taken seriously. And this kind of garbage is why we end up with the crap we have in cinema in both Warner Brothers, Disney, and pretty much all the other studios, including Netflix. Many of these places are trying to get away from this stuff. We'll see if they do it successfully. But only 55% of the films that they took into consideration and series passed the Bechdel test. Don't care. It's garbage. In promotional trailers, women had only 25% talk time. Okay, so again, So if there are fewer women, you're going to have fewer amounts of talk lines for that'll be. I don't care. With 48 titles allocating 10 seconds or less to female characters. Well, they probably don't feature prominently in the story. Again, these are stories written by people to be made into films. They have no cultural guidelines like they're trying to enforce here in the States, which is the whole point of this effort by Amazon and others. So the percentage of female HODs doubled when a woman was responsible for greenlighting a series. Oh, God. Similarly, a higher percentage of films passed the Bechdel test, 68%, and women had higher talk time, 35%, if the title was commissioned by a woman. Well, it's probably a woman's story or something oriented around women. Streaming films and series scored better than theatrical films across all parameters, indicating the ongoing change in the sector is ushering a female representation on and off screen, which I'm sorry, India, will be to your detriment, not because obviously females can't contribute, but because if you're artificially injecting stuff, you will destroy your content, your art, your storytelling, etc., etc. This is what Hollywood's learning right now. You're destroying your stuff by artificially including things and not having them occur organically. But similarly, 64% of streaming series, 55% of streaming films passed the Bechdel test, while more than half of theatrical films failed it. Good. Those are the things that people are watching here in the States and are appreciating. So yeah, if you want to destroy your film industry and a new market that you're appealing to, go ahead. Because the Western market has been consuming your product here as they've become aware of it, and I'm going to continue to push people towards those good films. I will also call out the garbage films that are made under this kind of guidelines that are issued by Amazon. Trust me on that. While it's no surprise that female representation in mainstream entertainment is low, the degree of skew, such as 10 to 90 as a ratio, I guess, on some key parameters, should be a wake-up call. While streaming titles, especially series, are more women-inclusive in on- and off-screen representation, theatrical films continue to perform very poorly, in fact, and have shown no positive growth at all since a previous report which covered content released 2019 and 2020. He went to continue, "We hope that this report serves as a starting point for the industry to come together and discuss ways to address the evident imbalance." There's no imbalance. The imbalance exists because of the storytelling, the people writing the stories. You can make all kinds of stuff, just make it organically. I'm going to keep harping on that, by the way. Last year, CBS made the announcement that they would target at least 50% representation of Black, Indigenous, and people of color across all casts for future unscripted series, which will vastly skew and overrepresent those groups. Okay. I mean, I added that last part, but that's the case. Earlier this year, British network ITV has forged a £280 million deal and diversity commissioning fund to be spent over the next 3 years on shows produced by or related to Black, Asian, minority ethnic, or disabled people. Obviously, all these things are occurring all across the entertainment sphere. I guess that's the whole point of this. But Aparna Purohit, the head of the India Originals for Amazon Prime, says that Indian cinema must enact diversity quotas similar to those that exist for Amazon Original programming. No, you don't. Just stop marketing through Amazon. People will appreciate that. Anyway, the final paragraph of this says it all. As of this writing, it is unknown how Hollywood entertainment studios will respond to the report and pleas for more diversity within their sector. What are your thoughts on the push to make Indian films more progressive? My thoughts here, Jacob and everybody else over at Bounding Into Comics and everybody watching this video, are that make the stories the way you want to make them. Don't bend the knee to any of this crap, or you will compromise your entire industry and essentially be compromised essentially forever until somebody grows a spine and starts telling organic and quality stories without a lot of modernity inserted within. And there you go. Get rid of the politics and you start making good entertainment. The minute you focus on politics, you make compromised material. I mean, it's just the case. You can't point me towards anything that's good that's written with the message in it. You just can't. With that being said, what do you think? Do you think I'm overreacting to this kind of poison being, you know, introduced into Indian cinema? That the ugly Americans over at Amazon are trying to foist this upon other cultures that don't align culturally with the United States right now? While we're similar, we are definitely completely different. All you have to do is watch the tone of anything coming out of India and recognize that, you know, they're closer to where we used to be than we are now. And boy, are we in a... we have a dearth of quality material here in the United States. Still find plenty of good stuff in India, though. Don't change that, please. But again, give me your thoughts on this. I know I'm having an off-the-cuff reaction to this, but I'm incredibly frustrated. Hopefully, you know, this will spur some conversation in the comments section below. Of course, support independent creators out there. They absolutely deserve your support, and they need it because, again, entities, the mainstream, the lamestream, the platforms that we're all on, that we share, they're focused on the message, despite the fact that it really doesn't connect with most of the people, if not the giant preponderance of humanity that they actually have contact with on a daily basis. In other words, the consumers, the customers, clients, however you want to refer to that. None of us share these kinds of forced virtue crap, nor do we think it's good, and it destroys stories. But hey, again, that's all opinion based. I'm interested in yours. Put it down there. Support independent creators. And be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.